some time in the last couple of days thinking about some of the things that God might be doing behind the scenes, and all of a sudden it occurred to me, we have this kind of funny saying, we refer to God as Jehovah Sneaky. And the reason why we say that is that sometimes the Holy Spirit sneaks up on us and does some things in us and through us and around us that we didn't see coming. And I really believe that that's a lot of what's going on right now. I think some of the things that we think are just the outworkings of staying at home or changing schedule or being stuck in the house are actually God moving in our lives in pretty profound ways. What occurred to me was that in the midst of everything that's going on right now, Jehovah Sneaky is making some changes in our lives and hasn't asked our permission, hasn't really talked to us about it. He hasn't impressed upon us the need to change. I think we're going to find out that some of the things that we wished were not part of our lives, that just the compulsive things like watching TV and just wasting time and maybe even wasting time worrying, we're going to find those things are gone. We're going to find those things are really not part of our lives anymore. And we're going to go, and we're going to approach God and say, listen, I am so grateful for this time we've had together. I think some of us are going to find ourselves in an intimate relationship more than we ever imagined. And John 15 is going to mean more to us than it ever has before, where he says, if you abide in me and my word abides in you, you can ask anything you want. And I think we've always wondered, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that we get to call the shots? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But it does mean that as we spend intimate time with him, we're going to find ourselves wanting to do the thing that he wanted to do in the first place. So I'd like to share a few of my thoughts when I was out on a ride the other day, and then we'll wrap it all up at the end. And I think you're going to see that Jehovah Sneaky is a reality for all of us, especially now. Take a look. This morning I wanted nothing more to just sit in his presence and enjoy who he was, enjoy my love for him and his love for me. And so I settled down and really tried to clear my head of all the things that were concerning me at the moment. It was like everything inside of me wanted to do everything but spend time with him. And I realized that this was a habit I had. This wasn't just temptation. This wasn't just distraction, but this was a habit I was in. This is what I would do every time I would sit down and want to be still before the Lord is. Things would change dramatically. Things would change. And I would find myself, I would find myself wondering whether or not my relationship with Jesus was really all that strong because of these distractions that were coming. Then it was a habit of wanting to be in his presence and then being distracted and then trying to get back and not being happy and it's just on and on and on. And I really wanted this habit broken. I didn't want to live this way. I didn't want my relationship with Jesus to be dictated by this pattern in my life of wanting to come close to him, feeling like I couldn't, and then trying to get back there and feeling like I couldn't, and rarely feeling a real breakthrough in the whole thing. And I felt like the Holy Spirit just whispered in my ear this morning, listen, you can try all you want to stop doing what you're doing. You can convince yourself that this is not the way you want to do your life. You can tell yourself that you're more spiritually mature than this and that you should be able to handle this, and you can fight with yourself and argue with yourself. But none of that really works. That whole using willpower to accomplish things in your life really doesn't work. What works is when you submit yourself to me and you allow me to begin to speak into your life, amazing things can happen. If I'm going to go deeper with him, I've got to let him do what he wants to do in my life and not try to manipulate it or fix it or change it or will myself into doing things differently. Yes, there are patterns in my life that need to be broken, but he knows that. If I could only realize how powerful his love is for me right now, and sometimes I do, like right now as I'm sharing these things with you, I feel like the very thing that I want is right here, right now. The very thing that my heart longs for is in me right now, and it's alive right now. I don't see any reason why I can't have a deeper relationship with Jesus right now. There's nothing standing in the way. It's like Mary when she walked into the room and saw Jesus. Her first desire was to fall at his feet, crack open some perfume, and let him know that there's no one more important to her than him. I'm enjoying the presence of Jesus today. I'm letting him love me right where I'm at. I'm also letting him break the patterns and habits of my life right now as we're riding along on 22nd Street in Longview. I'm letting him change me from the inside out. Isn't it amazing what God can do when we are open to change? Some of these things that are changing on the inside are going to be lasting. Some of them, we're not going to want to go back to the way it used to be. We're not going to want to go back to wasting time or spending our times on frivolous things. Some of the things that we were enamored with before, sports and purchases, buying things, electronics, online stuff. I think some of that stuff is actually going to go by the wayside as we begin to see that there have been some changes happening in our lives that are real and effective, and it really is going to change the way we do life. I love you, and I hope you have a great week. I hope that God blesses you and encourages you, and we'll see you next time. Bless you.